What type of degree is required for your position?
Well, I have my degree in instructional technology for the instructional technology portion, but I also have media certification. And you can have, you only have to have a master's.
Okay. What are your job responsibilities on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, on a day-to-day basis, like I said, it's been a little different this year with COVID. We've had cutbacks on, money and things like that. So I actually ended up teaching math in the media center and also credit recovery. And the amount of time students come check out books is limited also. So it's been a little different than my normal duties. My normal duties would be to, help teachers with their lessons, collaborate with them, have classes come in here, check out books to students, order books for students. I used to also, before I ended up having to teach, I did do technology where I had to check out the Chromebooks to teachers, make sure the Chromebooks were working, Chromebook carts, keep the inventory of which ones are on which carts. That has been transferred to the assistant principal the past couple of years. So previously, that is what I did a lot of.
Okay. How are you meeting the needs of faculty and staff during the transition to remote learning this semester?
I know we're having a lot of trainings. The academic coach, like I said, they're doing the technology portions of it mostly right now. As far as the training and keeping up with technology is the AP. It's just a lot of different stuff going on this year. Mm-hmm. But we send out on the Google Forms, we send out questionnaires to parents, families to see how many students have access to technology, mm-hmm. how many don't. We see how many Chromebooks that we will have to issue out if we did go virtual, or for how many students that do go virtual. I'm also the picture coordinator too, so I've had to do Google Forms for that to ensure that students who are virtual get their picture taken. But it was after school and had to allot certain times for them to come do that, so we didn't, cross face with virtual students.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you answered both questions for faculty and staff and students and parents in that one, so thank you. What are typical daily activities for your job?
Well, like I said, it's changed this year completely. In the past couple of years, actually, used to would be a lot of the technology, mm-hmm. probably more so than the media work, because it was just a lot of Chromebooks coming in and out and checking them out. And we used to not have Chromebook carts for every teacher, so they have to reserve the library to come in here to use it. But it's become easier since every teacher in the school has their own Chromebook cart now. Mm-hmm. So it's just teachers are able to monitor and keep up with their own individual stuff to make sure that it's working and running properly instead of them being swapped out continuously, which has made things a lot easier.
Okay. Do you have a budget that you control, and how do you make decisions on selecting the resources?
I do have a budget for the media portion, which I guess I could use toward technology if I needed to. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I send out emails to teachers. I send out requests to teachers for who needs what. And as long as my budget, suffices and covers it, then I'll order what they'll let me order. Recently, I haven't been given a budget. Mm-hmm. I just kind of order. And if they say no, they say no. Kind of go with it there, see if they can find money for it somewhere. And usually they do. Usually if it's something that's necessary and we need, they'll shift money around if there's not money in my budget and make it work.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah. Have you had an opportunity to impact technology implementation throughout your school?
Well, like I said at the beginning, when I was doing technology, I did, because I had to make sure that teachers actually had the Chromebooks set up in their rooms. I also gave them like handouts and information and guides on the best way to label their Chromebooks to issue them to students, so they would know that, if they had 3 classes and that Chromebook number 1 would go to these 3 students. Right. So if something did happen to it, you could at least narrow down to which one of those 3 students did it. Don't just randomly let students go in and grab them and things like that. So yeah, I've had, implementing it and making sure that they stay up to date and working, and to know which student has which Chromebook.
Okay. And you included an example in that too, so thanks.
Okay.
Does your school have a technology committee?
We have in the past couple of years, it has kind of went on the wayside because, like I said, it's just been chaos. As everybody knows, with all the COVID, and suddenly, trying to go virtual last March, and then trying to continue half virtual, half face to face, and we're still doing that right now here in our county. It's an option. You can either go virtual or face to face, and at any time during face to face, you can swap to virtual. You can't go from virtual to face to face. So in dealing with all of that stuff, mostly the principals have gotten together with the technology departments to determine what's best for our school.
Okay. How are the technology decisions made?
Overall, the principal makes the ultimate decision on what happens, but she gets suggestions, of course, through the APs, through the technology department, and through, what the other schools are doing as well.
What is the best part of your job?
The students, really. The freedom to be able to make my own schedule of when I do things, really. Like, I could choose my own lunch when I want to. But it's staying busy, interacting with people. And when I quit teaching, I did miss the students, but now I still get to interact with students. And when I quit academic coaching, I miss the interaction with teachers. So through the media, I still get to interact and work with teachers, and I get to interact with students, but yet I have the freedom to do it at my own pace and do whatever I feel is best.
Okay. And then last question, what do you find to be the most challenging part of your job?
Teacher buy-in for the media center and the media specialist at the high school level. Very few teachers use it as a resource that it could be used as. Even though I have offered assistance, I've given out forms, fill out, I've given out, all kind of information. I'm willing to do this and that, but it's actually buy-in from the teachers is probably the most challenging, to get them to see that I can help them. They don't know my background. Many of them, they don't know that, I was academic coach, for all 4 subjects. So I do know the standards, I do know how to plan lessons because I had to evaluate their lesson plans. Plus I taught before that. So I am aware of certain things, but like I said, at the high school level, it's not really like grade level, whatever. It's subject area. So there's usually like 2 teachers per subject area. So there's just not a lot of buy-in. I think that's the challenging part, really.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering all these questions.
You are very welcome.
Your help.
If you need me for anything else, you just let me know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.